Hey there. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Well, maybe it's the afternoon. Either way, I'm Bernie Miklasz, and this is the Bernie Show on STL Sports Central. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and leave your comments. Thank you for supporting my work. Really, thank you. Y'all keep me fired up. Today's topic, speaking of getting fired up, did John Mozeliak screw up his final trade deadline? This isn't a great answer, but I'm not sure. But I do have some theories and I do have some suspicions based on Mo's history and tendencies. I'm a long-time Mozeliak observer going back at least 20 years or so, and I can understand how he operates. So I'll get into some of that in a little bit. First, I have no problem with the trades that sent the pending free agents, relievers Ryan Helsley, Phil Maton, and Steven Matz to other teams as rentals. Helsley went to the Mets, Matz to the Red Sox, and Maton ended up in Texas. As I explained yesterday, I really don't do these automatic knee-jerk reactions to prospect-related trades by trying to pretend to be some kind of expert. Who knows how everything will turn out? No, in time we'll know whether these moves, any of them paid off or any of them were failures. We'll know in time. There's no reason to try to play Mr. Fake Expert on all that. There's plenty of people out there to do it for you. That said, I do like knowing that Chaim Bloom was basically the guy who identified the 6 prospects that the Cardinals got and recommended them, 4 pitchers and 2 hitters who are now in the St. Louis player development system. He knows his stuff when it comes to prospects. So I don't see any reason to blast the work as far as what he recommended because this is his strong suit, prospects, drafts, things like that. And I can share this note from Baseball America, which I respect because they've been evaluating prospects, with distinction for a very long time. 94 prospects were traded in this 2025 deadline marketplace, and Jesus Baez, the hard-hitting infielder acquired from the Mets, was rated number 10 on that list of 94 of the best prospects traded, according to Baseball America. And pitcher Nate Dome, also obtained by the Mets, was ranked 39th. And the big bopper Blaze Jordan, who came from Boston, he was at number 46. But my questions on Mozeliak are more about something else. What did the Cardinals not do in this 2025 swap meet? According to the excellent reporting by Katie Wu, The Athletic, the Cardinals drew a lot of interest from teams who circled the names of Brendan Donovan, Alec Burleson, and Lars Nootbaar on their wish lists. In theory, it was an opportunity for Mo to sell high, alleviate a logjam, maybe land some young major league ready starting pitching talent. We'll never know, though, so we can only speculate what might have been. As Mo told the media yesterday after the deadline had passed, quote, "We got hit a lot on our left-handed hitters, but none of the types of offers we were getting those players were compelling for us to do it. We were not motivated to move players that we had under control unless we were, to put it mildly, blown away. And we just weren't." Okay, when I listened to that right away inside this big fat head of mine, there were some little alarm bells going off, and I'm going, uh-oh, here we go again. And I have many questions. So when I return for my second segment, I'll explain why. But now it's DraftKings time. It's August 1st. The season's zooming by, and it's a terrific time for you to get in the action by competing in the daily Pick 6 fantasy games at DraftKings. And if you're a new customer, DraftKings will make it worth your while with some bonus dollars for you to make picks if you sign up. More on that later. DraftKings Pick 6 makes it easy to get started. So go ahead and put that big baseball brain of yours to work and get after those cash prizes. Just download the Pick 6 app, and there is nothing complicated about making these selections. It's a simple format. Each day, DraftKings sets a stat line for dozens of major league players or pitchers for their next game. And then when you look at a stat line that catches your interest, you pick more or less for 2 or more of your favorite players, the players that you choose, more or less, whatever that stat line is. And then you're in line for a shot at winning some money. Here's an example of what I'm thinking about for Friday night's game, Cardinals at Padres. Nick Pivetta starts for the Padres. In his last 6 starts, covering 38 innings, he's faced 143 batters. He's given up only 2 home runs. And don't forget that even when Pivetta leaves the game tonight, the Padres have a great bullpen. to send after the Cardinals hitters. The Cardinals are not a home run hitting team, especially on the road. Here's the one that caught my eye. DraftKings has set a line of 0.5 home runs for Nolan Arenado in this one. Arenado has not homered since June the 22nd. In 193 plate appearances on the road this season, he's got only 3 homers. If we go back to late last season, Arenado has only 3 home runs in his last 240 plate appearances on the road. The smart play here seems to me is Arenado and choosing the lower than 0.5 home runs in tonight's game, which means if you do that, you're basically saying, no, he's not going to hit a home run in this one. Pick 6 is available here in Missouri, so there's nothing to hold you back. I really enjoy playing DraftKings Pick 6 Fantasy. I enjoying it more and more and more, and I think you will like it too. And don't settle for those smaller payouts at other places. No way. DraftKings will treat you right. Just switch on over to DraftKings Pick 6, and you're going to be in the right place, right time for winning cash. Right now, new customers get $25 to use in pick bonuses with their first deposit of $5. So download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use the code STL Sports. That is code STL Sports for new customers to get $25 in bonus picks with the first deposit of $5. Real good. Better payouts, bigger wins, only with Pick 6 from DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 and over. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
All right, let's get after it. We've got the second segment right now here on the Bernie Show. Mozeliak fielded offers for Donovan, Nootbaar, and Burleson on Thursday, and he declined to make a deal. As I said a couple of minutes ago, Mozeliak said he wasn't going to part with any of these hitters unless he was, quote, blown away by one of the offers. On the surface, normal situation, that sounds reasonable enough, but we have to remember here that this is John Mozeliak we're talking about. And I am familiar with how he operates. There's a few things on this for you, and some of it isn't very friendly, but here I go. Number one, Mozeliak's got a strong streak of risk aversion. This man gets very nervous about any kind of move that he thinks is risky business. And that explains why he's held on to so many young hitters for too long and didn't trade them until their value had plummeted. The other thing is some of you, and that's fine, will say, well, Bernie, come on, he did, trade for Goldschmidt and Arenado. Yeah, because those teams were basically willing to give them away because both players wanted to go to St. Louis and they wanted to kind of offload some salary and pick up some prospects. And they made it really, really, really easy for the Cardinals. And, oh, by the way, Bill DeWitt's the one that closed the Colorado deal because of all the complicated contract stuff. But anyway, he has a strong streak of risk aversion, gets very nervous about stuff that isn't totally safe. Number two is, have I told you many, many times? I have said this many, many times. One of Mo's worst flaws is overrating his own players. They are rarely as good as Mo thinks they are. And unfortunately, this is where his customary arrogance really comes into play. Teams have made terrific offers, but it doesn't matter to Mo because in his eyes, he must make a killing in the trade because he believes his players are great when those players are good. But he's holding out for like top prices. He's just too arrogant to relent and be reasonable. Number three, another way of putting this, Mozeliak overplays his hand. And I believe that was the case in the Ryan Helsley trade talks because Mozeliak said something interesting, caught my attention yesterday. He said he moved Helsley the day before the deadline. He moved him on Wednesday rather than Thursday because 2 other high-profile closers had come off the board. They had been traded. And Mozeliak basically said he didn't want to be left out, when the music stopped. So that got me to thinking about something. Wait a minute. Did he turn down better offers for Helsley by making unreasonable demands of potential trade partners? Did those potential trade partners then pivot away from Helsley and Mozeliak and to be able to make a deal with someone else? That certainly seems like a possibility to me. And if Mo turned better deals down, it also means there was probably a little panic inside Mo when he realized what he had done. And he's, oh, we better make this deal with the Mets then. Number 4, through the years, I've been told by multiple baseball people, and I mentioned this above, that Mozeliak is difficult to deal with because of his arrogance and his insistence on getting what he wants no matter what, period. With Mo, I'm told it isn't about making a good trade that helps the Cardinals or really a good trade that helps both teams, which is really supposed to be the idea, right? As one front office executive told me a few years ago, Mo doesn't just want to win the trade for the Cardinals. He wants to crush the other side. That's been my observation, and I will leave it up to the professionals out there to do the psychoanalysis on that. But that's why Mo tends to make these trades with a relatively small circle of teams, if you think about it. Other teams simply are fed up. They don't want to waste any more time dealing with them, which limits the possibility of making good trades. So let's fast forward. Let's go to Thursday night. I read my friend Katie Wu's story in The Athletic, and I cackled. I think I scared a couple of cats because this is late at night and the house is dark. And I'm like, I think the cats were startled. Anyway, what she described in her reporting was a classic example of Mozeliak's delusional approach to making trades. Now, let me read verbatim from her story. Quote, St. Louis asked for remarkably high returns, with one rival executive describing the asks as, quote, insane, and another terming them as, quote, sky high. There you go, bingo. That's our guy, Mo. He thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. Any room that he enters, he thinks he's the architect that made the Cardinals great instead of Walt Jocketty, Tony La Russa, and Jeff Luhnow. He fancies himself as the big boss player with the bow tie, and you will bow down to him and comply with his wishes. Here's what concerns me. Suppose Mozeliak yesterday with those players we talked about, Newt, Burley, and Donnie, suppose he actually turned down a great deal for one of those guys. What if he froze under pressure? Or what if he compensated for whatever insecurities he had by going the other way and getting all haughty and belligerent? See, we don't know any of these things for a simple reason, because we don't know what was offered and we don't know what he was turned down. But I probably wouldn't like the answers because I have no trust in John Mozeliak. That's gone. That's why I was hoping that Bill DeWitt would have the common sense to put Bloom in charge of this trade deadline, because after all, why would you want a failed president of baseball operations screwing up again on his way out? It's not fair to Bloom, who's going to have to deal with the repercussions of Mo's actions or non-actions at the deadline. But this bizarre system of having the guy who built the rosters for Cardinals teams that are 22nd in the majors collectively in winning percentage since the start of the 2023 campaign. What in the world? You actually want him calling the shots as a lame duck deadline dealer? Bill. No wonder the Cardinals have collapsed to the number 18 ranking in the majors for average tickets sold per home game this season. Number 18. A couple of weeks ago, they were 16. They continue to drop and drop and drop. The Cardinals at this point, and it's going to get worse, they have sold fewer tickets to home games on an average basis, average per game, than all but 4 National League teams. The Cardinals, who used to hang up top in the National League and really in the majors with the Dodgers and Yankees in ticket sales. But hey, John Mozeliak is a true baseball genius, and Bill DeWitt was going to stand by his man. Now, in segment number 3, I will take a quick look, or I'll take another look, I should say, at the Mozeliak-Bloom situation, but I'm going to go at it with a different perspective, and I'm going to make it quick, so stick with me. But first, man, pep talk. It's Blue Chew time. Gentlemen, Big Blue Chew is your big blue dose of power that can help you raise your game in those intimate, exciting times with your partner. You can make those times even more exciting with a big assist from Blue Chew. As we like to say, chew it and do it. If you're struggling to charge around the bases and to have that celebration, that walk-off at the home plate with your significant other because of a lame game, Well, then turn to Blue Chew for added strength. That's what it's there for. Fellas, if you need a more powerful bat, more powerful swing, Blue Chew is in the equipment room, so go get it. Blue Chew's the original brand offering chewable tablets for enhanced performance when you get behind closed doors and the lights go down. I think that used to be an old country song. How about some fireworks instead of a dud? Blue Chew can help men of all ages, including guys like me in their 60s, and I believe it can help you as well. You're going to get your first month of Blue Chew free. You're just a few clicks away. You sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed providers, medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription at your doorstep in a few days. It's really that simple. It's all done online, simple and private. And please remember that Blue Chew is manufactured and prepared here in the USA. Try your first month of Blue Chew free when you use the promo code Bernie. That's just all you got to pay is just $5 in shipping. That's promo code Bernie to get your first month free, and the only cost to you is the $5 shipping fee. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the Bernie Show and letting us get the word out to help my fellow man. All right, let's go here in segment number 3 and wrap this thing up. Do we really want? If there's a bright side to this, and I think there is, let's get into it by me asking a question. Do we really want Chaim Bloom making these types of trades? Because the Cardinals have tradable assets. They do. And 3 of those guys are Donovan and Burleson and Nootbaar. And there might have even been more, but they do have some tradable assets. But do we want him making those trades? Listen, he's lost his fastball. He's leaving a mess behind him. You don't want any more messes on the way out as Mo prepares to leave the building to go hiking in Europe or perhaps visit France to sample some of the world's finest and most exquisite Bordeaux. Mozeliak drinks red, and that's fine, but he has us seeing red, all right? I'm absolutely in favor of Chaim Bloom making these kind of moves as the Cardinals untangle these gnarly knots on a terribly constructed roster. So maybe it was a good thing. Think about it. Maybe it was a good thing that King Mo waved his scepter and dismissed deals that were pitched by these lesser teams when they came to him at the deadline. They were beneath him. He had that scepter and told them to go. Maybe even Mo realized that he owed that to Bloom, and the last thing that should happen here in this strange situation is Mo making Bloom's cleanup job even more difficult. And I think Mozeliak, I'll give him a nod of credit here. I think he showed some awareness about that very thing with a comment he said when talking to the media yesterday. And here's the quote, and I'll read it verbatim. Should I do the Mo voice? Yeah, I probably will. When the question was asked if we're not willing to move players under control, the answer is the timing wasn't now. The question is a good one, and one that ultimately will be resolved probably over the next 6 months. Okay? Think about that, and you'll understand what he was saying. With Donovan, Burleson, Nootbaar, and other veterans still there, maybe some teams want Nolan Gorman. Who knows? Bloom will have a lot to work with and more flexibility as he begins his makeover of the Cardinals. The offseason is a fantastic time to make deals of this nature because there is no time crunch. There is no deadline pressure. No one's freaking out. There's plenty of time to explore every conceivable option, to talk with as many teams as you want. And another bonus is Bloom's reputation among his peers. They respect him for his integrity, his straightforward attitude, his professionalism, his cordial nature. I almost said cardinal nature, but his cordial nature, and the willingness to work through initial disagreements to reach a solution and complete a trade. That's how you do it. If you're sick of Chaim Bloom, and you are, then think about this. Baseball executives around the majors are sick of him too. And when Chaim Bloom officially takes over as president of baseball operations, they're going to be happy. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe they won't be so happy. What do I mean by that? Well, as a baseball man who works for another team in the division told me a few months ago, and he said it with kind of a chuckle, we're going to be sad to see Mo go. And he laughed, and that's all he had to say because I knew what he meant. Under Mo, All of these teams knew that the mediocre Cardinals had become really, really easy to beat and really, really easy to outmaneuver. Probably going to be a little more challenging for them now. That'll do it. Thanks for watching. I appreciate your support. Have a wonderful weekend. And thanks to DraftKings for presenting the Bernie Show here on STL Sports Central. Take care.